So bored when I'm in here.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Romulus Board of Education, February 12th, 2007, to order. Can I have roll call, please?
Mrs. Freyer is absent, excused. Ms. Buckley.
Here.
Mr. Kuderick.
Present.
Ms. Lanasi.
Present.
Mr. Minkiewicz.
Present.
Ms. Roscoe.
Here.
Ms. White is present.
And can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we need an approval of the minutes of our previous meeting. Oh, we need to approve the agenda first. You have a new agenda in front of you.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve our amended agenda.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Buckley, supported by Tom. Mr. Kuderick?
Yep.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we need a motion for approval of minutes of the previous meeting, please.
I would like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Support.
Motion by Ms. White, supported by Mr. Minkiewicz. Do we have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we'll,
Covering 3 meetings,
pardon me.
it was covering 3 meetings. Wasn't it? I just caught it. Okay.
Next, we have a report from the superintendent, Mr. Weiss.
Thank you. Before we start with our customary reports, I just wanted to acknowledge that Governor Granholm was proclaimed February 12th through 16th as Principals Week. We have 3 of our principals in attendance. If they would stand for a moment. Mr. Hurst, our principal from the high school, Mrs. West,
I didn't even hear her do
I
that.
just have a little something that I want to
Paul.
share with all of you.
Mike.
Oh, thank you. I have a little something that I want to share with everyone. Other than the classroom teacher, who is the most frequently mentioned adult at your child's school? Of course, it's the principal. But few people understand just how complicated the job of a principal truly is. If you read a principal's job description, it would look something like this. Wanted, a highly skilled individual with demonstrated administrative abilities to work with hundreds of students and staff. Requirements include a master's degree with a focus in educational administration, 3 to 5 years of successful teaching experience, a background in clinical supervision and evaluation, effective communication skills and ability to work collaboratively with others, a strong desire and ability to increase parental involvement, a commitment to staff development, ability to manage a large facility as well as all the people within that facility, strong organizational skills, and extensive experience developing and implementing policies and monitoring budgets. School principals are responsible for virtually every aspect of students' education, from the playground to the classroom. First and foremost among these responsibilities is the role of learning leader for the school, that is, setting the tone for learning. In addition, our principals must understand and comply with the complex litany of state and federal rules and regulations that govern everything from special education to the handling of chemicals used in science classes. In their role of personnel manager, principals are responsible for recommending teachers for hire, evaluating their performance, and promoting teamwork. Principals encourage parent involvement by providing accurate, timely information about the school, its programs, student achievement, and staff efforts. Maintaining a safe learning environment for students is essential for providing a quality education, and this is number 1 on every principal's list of concerns. Principals must be able to recognize and deal with child abuse, drug misuse, and aggressive or threatening behaviors. The principals in our school district are first rate. We ask a lot of them, and they meet any challenge that comes their way with both a great deal of skill and heart. After all, they have one of the most important leadership and management jobs of all. They head the institutions that teach and mold our community's children. I know there are a number of parents out there in the audience, and for those of you who are parents, just a couple of things that we would suggest. First of all, the next time you have an occasion to see them in your school or around town, please take a moment and stop and say thank you. I know that they will appreciate that. Also, if you haven't already done this, introduce yourself to your principal at your earliest opportunity. attend your child's school programs, volunteer, and serve on a committee. And when you have a question or concern, don't hesitate to call your child principal. Thank you, principals. You are appreciated, and this is your week. With that said, we'll go to item A. Mr. Clark, personnel action.
Thank you, Mr. Wise. Members of the board, I only have one personnel action for you this evening. It is a four-year information. Due to a vacancy created in the paraprofessional union, Mr. Samuel Bonham is being recalled as a special education student aide at Barth Elementary School.
Madam Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Clark, now, this is not the position that the other person left, is it?
This is a position that currently one of our employees is out on an extended medical leave.
Okay, but the person who resigned a couple weeks ago,
No,
this
this is
wasn't.
different.
Okay,
Yes, different position.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Papazoglu, bills for payment.
Thank you, Mr. Weiss. I'm recommending the board approve the bills submitted for payment for the period January 25th through February 9th, 2007, in the amount of $700,925.33.
Okay, we need a motion, please.
I'll make the motion to pay our bills.
Support.
Thank you, Ms. Manasseh.
Motion
I'm getting a
by,
headache just looking at the
Yeah.
figure.
motion by Ms. Lanasi, supported by Ms. White. Do we have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. Next, we have a couple of presentations. The first of which is Mr. Hurston, and I think he has a couple of high school teachers here as well.
Yes.
This will be brief because after hearing Carl, I am eager to get home to tell my wife this is Principal's Week, so because I know she doesn't know about it. So what we want to do is just take just a couple minutes to talk about some new classes we're putting into the curriculum. We're going to address three of them here tonight. Two of them are actually requirements from the state, and one's an elective. And as opposed to my talking about it, I've actually brought the three teachers that will be teaching the course. So I want to start off first with Michelle Hill, which will talk to you about the world geography, the world history class.
Thank you. I'm Michelle Hill. I'm Social Studies Department Chair at the high school. And because of new state requirements, we're going to be adding one class. It'll be called World History and Geography. And it will go from the creation of Earth all the way up to the present. And the next thing that we're going to change in the curriculum guide is we're going to simply change the title of U.S. History to U.S. History and Geography, because that also goes along with the state requirements. But the state requirements will not be voted on until July 2007 and will not have to be put into place until the following year. But we're going to start this process now, better safe than sorry. Any questions for me? I'm going to pass this on to Ms. Willerick.
She's anxious to
You'll
talk
love
to you.
Oh, I'm really nervous about it. I don't even know why.
We were all students at once, so just
I'm Miss Willerick, and I teach life management at the high school, and I'm going to be transitioning into teaching a one-semester health course. It's part of also the new statewide requirements. And it will focus on wellness and preventative health strategies with subtopics such as nutrition and physical activity, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, safety, social and emotional health, personal health and wellness, HIV prevention, and sexuality education. And I'm excited about it. So,
We are too.
okay. And here's Mr. Grant.
As needed.
Good evening. My course is not a required course by the state, so I have to come up here and tell you why I think it's a great course. First off, it's entrepreneurship and small business management. It's going to be replacing Marketing 2 at the high school. It's going to focus on recognizing a business opportunity, starting a business based upon that opportunity, and hopefully operating and maintaining that business for a period of time. It's a one-semester course, so it's going to involve a lot of rigor and relevance, the key words of the state nowadays. We're going to incorporate a lot of English and math standards into it because it's going to be relevant in the business ownership. The students will also create a business plan throughout the course, and it will focus on accounting, financing, marketing, and management, and also the legal and economic environments within the business and how it operates. And it's for any career pathway, grades 10, 11, 12. And there's any questions?
And it aligns with the governor's new initiatives.
Yes. Yep.
She just came out and proposed that, I believe, didn't she? The entrepreneurship class, didn't she?
Yes.
So there's not going to be any prereqs to
No.
take your class?
No, it's just going to be an elective class. I know the interest is very strong among the students. I polled my freshmen. I had 3 freshman classes, and I got about 7, 8 kids per class said they were very interested in taking this course.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Mrs. McAnally and the folks from Romulus Elementary.
We do.
Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Before I start, I'd like to thank you for inviting Romulus Elementary tonight for this board presentation. So thank you. Tonight, before we start our presentation, I'd like to modify a quote that Governor Granholm used in her State of the State message. She said that Michigan has many dedicated teachers. But I would like to say that Romulus is blessed with dedicated teachers who will hit even greater heights when we give them the tools they need to keep our kids focused on learning. The presentation that you're going to see tonight focuses on several of those tools that we use at Romulus Elementary for the students. These programs or tools are designed, some of them are for a whole group, some of them will focus on individual students for reteaching and enriching, and others will focus on parent involvement. So we have about a 10-minute video, and Mr. Dolan said he's going to cut it after 5, but he can't. And afterwards, I would like to have my movie stars come up and introduce themselves after the 10-minute video. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to Romulus Elementary. There are many exciting events here at Romulus Elementary. We are kindergarten superstar readers. We practice reading books every night. Reading is fun! Hi, my name is Josh. I'm in 4th grade. Every year, Romulus Elementary School has special things today. This day was created to honor all the special people in our life. Our special people visit the classroom for refreshments and special arts and crafts activities is taken home to remember the fun day. Hi, my name is Sunsoy Horton and I'm in 4th grade. I was chosen by my teacher to be in the Reading Express Club. Every Friday, I choose a book to take home and read. On the following Friday, I take a book quiz or complete a book activity. After every book I read, I receive a point towards winning a free meal at Motherfuckers. So far, my favorite book is The Lighthouse Mystery, because you can picture the events in your head. Hi, my name is Ian Wilson and I'm in 3rd grade. Each week, students will take a 5-minute test on the basic facts. There are 4 tests. If you pass the first one, you will get a prize and get to move to the next test. You continue to do this until you pass all 4 tests. There is a big prize. The big prize is a Math Star t-shirt like the one I am wearing. It makes me feel special because I know other students know how hard I work to earn this t-shirt.
Hi, my name is Victoria Fields and I'm in 4th grade. I'm a good citizen of Romulus Elementary.
I have completed my reading goals each month, and I have always completed my homework, and I demonstrate good behavior. I'm a good citizen, and I will be attending the semester Good Citizen Party. We'll have pizza, play video games, and we'll even have free time in the gym. I even get to stay at this school until 5:30.
My name is Rebecca, and we are now in first grade. Having attended a lunch bunch. Lunch bunch is a time for my mom and dad to come to school and have lunch with me. We have pizza and we eat in the media center. After we eat, I get to go outside for recess. And the parents stay. My teacher tells them all the important information about. I'm going to learn in second grade. Hi, my name is Tamil Riley and I'm in 4th grade. We had Science Day here at Romulus Elementary. It was so much fun. Each class did an experiment using the scientific progress. The older kids shared and taught the experiments to the younger kids. In the afternoon, we had an assembly. It was so much fun. We got to share our experiments with the whole school. We really learned a lot. Hi, my name is Kennedy. I'm in 1st grade. I've been at this reading for 15 minutes. I have my mom send my reading log if I read all week. If I read all month, my teacher gives us a rule and we will have a popcorn movie party. It is great to be a reading leader at Romulus Elementary.
Hello, my name is Margaret Anderson. What the League means to me. The League means to me being a good example for younger kids and showing that you notice someone is in need. It means caring about yourself and others. Also helping less fortunate people. When I joined the League, I was exceedingly proud of myself because I knew that at a young age I could be a big help to people who need food for Thanksgiving and children who knew this Christmas that they might get one gift if any at all. The League has changed me a lot. It's shown me that even though money is tight, it could be much worse. Another thing the League has shown me is not to take so many things for granted. Instead, I should be thankful for parents and several siblings who love me, food, and a home. All in all, the League is very important to me, and I will try very hard to make our school and people's lives better.
Hello, my name is Brianna Brackman. Today I will tell you some interesting details about the League. Our school and other schools in the United States have been learning about the League. The League is an activity powered by Learning Together, which helps people that are learning about giving realize how important it is to give. Some of the activities our school and other Romulus schools have done are Thanksgiving canned food drives, Toys for Tots, and we also have participated in a Martin Luther King March/Giving game. What the League means to me. To me, the League means more than just us 4 student captains and an adult leader to guide us on what to do. To me, the League is more to help kids and their parents learn about giving and how important it is to give. The League is also to make everyone feel good about helping the community. And it is also like a baseball team. What I mean is baseball teams have players that try to make the team better. The League has players that try to help our community. That is what the League means to me. Thank you for listening, Brandon.
Hi, my name is Lyric and I'm in the 6th grade. The League means so much to me. It showed me to be giving and caring because there are poor who don't live like us. When we did the food drive for the poor, I brought in cans. I felt good when I gave cans away for the poor. And I saw others give some away too. And it felt good that the poor would eat on Thanksgiving. We had Toys for Toddlers for Christmas. It was nice that the kids could actually have a Christmas because of the League. And people that isn't on the League help us with everything we do. The League helped me by sharing and just like thinking of myself, but thinking of others, and being nice and giving to others. Hello, my name is Janae Harmon, and I am in the 4th grade. At Romulus Elementary, they have a learning tutoring group to help students get extra help on schoolwork. I want to do well in school. That is why I go to the morning tutor. I'm doing better with my multiplication, and I love going to school. It's important, and I always try my best.
Hi, my name is Armani Powell. I am in the 6th grade, and after the school day ended, I shot down the balls for basketball clinic. It was a 2-week clinic. I was really looking forward to this because I wanted to show my friends my basketball talent. We learned new skills, but it was also fun because I wanted to be on the same team as my friends. It is true that we learned new skills, but demonstrating good sportsmanship is just as important. I'm glad Romulus Elementary had a basketball clinic. I hope there is spring clinic too. See ya.
Hi, my name is Kiara Thompson, and I'm in the 4th grade. And I'm Toriana Allen in 3rd grade. PEP is Romulus Elementary's parent group. PEP stands for Parents as Educational Partners. My grandma and mother are members. My mom and dad are members too. Anyone can become a member. All you have to do is care about Romulus Elementary School and children. On the second Tuesday of each month at 6 o'clock, a group of parents come to Romulus Elementary and meet with Miss Matthews. During their meeting, they talk about things to do to make our school better, like the snowflake dance, the spring fair, and farming. They also have some guests come in and speak on special topics. But the best part of this is that while our parents are meeting, the kids get to play in the gym or do a special activity. Believe me, this is fun. We also have pizza for dinner. We are glad our parents are involved with our school. Please come and visit us at Romulus Elementary.
As you can see, there's many programs that are happening at Romulus Elementary. Those were just a few. I do want to introduce my movie stars that are here in the audience. Would that be okay?
Yep. Sure.
Come on up, movie stars.
It's so
Right here, you got to stand right in here so the TV can see you. Say your name really loud.
Anya Wilson.
Oh, great.
3rd. I am Rebecca. Hi.
She is not shy.
I'm Kiara Thompson in 4th grade. I'm Toriana Allen Cook in 3rd grade.
Thank you, ladies. I also have a parent back there of Kenneth. Parents standing there that showed up, and Kenneth is not here, but the parents are there. There's also a few staff members here of mine that I need to introduce for supporting our program. I'm going to start in the back corner there, Rochelle, Miss Watson. She teaches 4th grade at Rommel. I have Miss Toros. Whoops, I'm sorry. She's a resource. We have Mrs. Soltez, speech therapist. Miss Nataro, Title I Learning Specialist. Miss Harrison, 3rd grade teacher. Miss Garden, 1st grade teacher. Miss Chasney and other. She's my reading first coach, and we see that she's carrying our future children. Right. I also have 2 of my PEP members here. Mr. D'Antonio Thomas and Keisha Allen. I'm Bobby Allen's daughter, and
Oh.
Bobby's not here tonight. There was a lot of people that put this together, all the kids that did the presentation. Plus, I have to thank Roxanne Kurcharski, Gretchen Notaro, and Pia Jasny for working with the children and the students. Any questions that you have? I know it's like watching home videos, right? Anytime, please feel free to come over and visit and see our children in action. Questions?
No? Anybody got any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks for
Good
coming.
job.
Thank you.
Very good job.
We're going to talk about the MEEP now, but it's programs like Margie's and Romel's and so many of our other schools that reflect the progress that we do see, and it's just the combination of so many programs there. In your MEEP packet, you have 3 different documents. You have the PowerPoint, which we'll go over, and you have other two supplemental documents. This document I'm holding up is really just for your own information, and it gives you an idea of what each individual school was particularly proud of in their summaries and their challenges and what they're working on. And the last document is just an overall analysis of the district's data. You saw in the paper our district data and how we compared. You also saw in the free press not long ago the fact that our writing scores were some of the highest in Wayne County, and they did an article on that, and we were particularly proud of that. With us tonight, we have Pat Adams. Pat is the K-8 language arts person. And coincidentally, we have Dorothy West, who didn't know, but she is the math person, so if any of you have very specific questions, they're great to ask. In general, we are really pleased with our test scores. We showed increases in all areas. A couple considerations from the state that we just need to remind ourselves on. The MEEP was given not to evaluate schools, but really to measure progress for kids, and sometimes it's used inappropriately. 2, the MEEP is the test given this year measures content from last year. So it's a 4-month delay before the kids are assessed. They leave in June, they're not assessed on the previous year's content until October of the previous year. So that's a pretty big delay, and somewhat of a significant delay, but it's a 4-month delay. And up until this year, the state reminds us, and I remind all of us, that the tests really, you only can make comparisons from the last 2 years because there was different tests the previous years. So we're going to go through the test data. Can you do that, Patricia, or? And like I said, Pat and Dorothy are here. One of the things to just, again, remind the board, for 10 years, more specifically 5 years, this district, this elementary school district, has been working on 3 goals across the district. That's reading, math, and writing in the elementary schools. And when we talk about working across the district, that means that a lot of time and effort and focus by the principals, teacher leaders like Pat, learning specialists, school improvement facilitators. There's been a lot of collaboration to get everybody on the same page. As a district, we focus on the reading, the writing, and the math, and we've seen, as you've sat around this table for the last 10 years, and sometimes our scores are significantly higher than our contiguous districts. Sometimes they're about the same, sometimes they're lower. In the back, I gave you sort of an analysis of where we stand with other districts, and that again is just for your analysis. But in Wayne County, we did particularly well, I think. Against contiguous districts, that would be Belleville and Taylor, I think we did relatively well. But again, it would be a misuse of the data to make those direct comparisons. Your only concern is how did my kid do a year, from year to year. what we are looking at and what we are now analyzing, and the teachers and the principals and the learning specialists are taking this data and further breaking it down to develop action plans for the rest of this year so that our kids would be ready for next year. And Pat, you want to give a quickie how you do that, what goes into the analysis of the data? You got to take the microphone.
One of the things we look at are item analysis. Exactly each item, which strand it goes to in the language arts, and where we can make improvements. Some of the areas that we looked at, and I've looked at the item analysis 3rd through 8th, and I'm seeing a few commonalities. In the area of comprehension, as far as the kids getting detail, finding main idea, knowing the theme, all of that we're very good at. But they've taken the MEP and made it a step higher with some things where kids have to synthesize. They have to compare characters across 2 texts. How are these characters alike, or how are they different? What was the author's purpose in writing this piece? You know, things that go way beyond the text. And we're looking, that goes all the way on down to 3rd grade children. So in our analysis of all these items, we have some things that we're going to key in on next year. In a few minutes, I'll pass out a form of some of the initiatives we started about 1.5 years ago, knowing that the MEP was going to change, that it was going to have writings in it that we'd never had before. Our students had never done cross-text comparisons. Not only multiple choice of that, but having to do a written response comparing 2 different types of texts. One might be a narrative and one would be informational. One might be a poem and a narrative. We also put into place some things that would help us with looking at a student's writing and analyzing it. I mean, we've looked at our writings before and done peer editing, but we've never had kids have to write a response to something else that somebody had written. To me, that's a very higher level thinking skill, and I'm not so sure sometimes as an adult some of the questions they were asking of kids would be an easy task to do. So about 1.5 years ago, we put into place pre and post tests that were very, very MEP-like, having all these components in them for grades 3 through 8. 8th grade, though, we made ours look ACT-like because they're going to be going on to the high school. Last year, we also did a pre and post for 2nd. We have one now in 1st. We have at least 6 of these types of tests for teachers to model throughout the year or to use as an assessment tool periodically throughout the year. We've put in a lot of writing prompts to cross-text at each grade level, starting at 1st grade. We've put in some formatives for the student writing sample. Now we're currently going back to what we traditionally had done well at, our narratives, and we're starting to write some narrative prompts this year. And it's my pleasure.
I guess in summary, what you're seeing is the end result, as we all do, of a very comprehensive, exhaustive process by our principals and teachers. And I know all of you know what goes into those classrooms. All of you have been in those classrooms, and we are an extremely, extremely focused district. We work our butts off. The teachers work hard, principals work hard, and consequently the students work hard. So I want you to be confident that the data is here. Pat explained how we analyze the data, and we're going to go through some of the results and be glad to answer any questions for you. And Dorothy and Margie, anything you want to say as we go through this? Dorothy, all our principals are ahead of a strand. Dorothy is ahead of the math strand.
I wasn't expecting to.
I know you
present
weren't,
tonight
but
or
you're
anything
good
like
on your
that,
feet,
but
man.
That's all right. If I'd known I was going to be invited, I'd have brought a cake. My mom said, "You always bring a hostess gift when you." But if you look at math, we probably, in terms of the percentage of increase across the board, we did the best in math. But as we've analyzed as a committee and at our building levels, as we looked at the data, we find that in the lower grades, we do exceptionally well for some reason in math. But as the students go up the continuum, meaning to 5th and 6th grade, somehow or another, we don't see the kinds of gains that we would like. So as a committee and at each one of our building levels, we're looking, as Pat said, at each one of the items because we break the meat down based on the item analysis. We look at the glitz. We look where there might be clusters. We're trying to figure out, is it the problem solving? Is it computation? What is it our students are having the greatest difficulty with? One of the things that came out of the math committee was that it was noted that at the earlier grades, we do a lot with hands-on manipulatives, those kinds of things, but as the students go up the continuum, there's less of that kind of thing going on. And in dialoguing with Libby Trinkle, who heads the math strand for the ISD, she's also said that that's an area of concern and has worked with us in some of our professional development with our upper grade teachers to see if we can't get students more involved in that. So as well as we've done, we know that there are still areas of concern, and we're hoping to address that.
See, spontaneous as she is, she knows her content. Good. All right, Pat, you want to flick through the slides and as we go, folks? As we indicated, you know, we've seen increases in each of the areas. This generally describes what Pat talked to you about. The data drives decision-making in our schools. We look at data, we analyze data. We are a school that really triangulates, and I hesitate using that term, but we use 3 assessments as part of our process. We use a local assessment, the pre and post tests that, Margie was responsible for creating the math ones. We've got the language arts ones. We use the Iowa, and we use the MEP. So each student is given 3 different assessments. We look at those assessments. We try to see the consistency, the intra-consistency between school and school. These are our 3rd grade reading scores compared with the state. As you can see, we've got some challenges with some of the schools and some of the reading. Some of our schools did extremely well. These are our writing scores. And again, the writing scores, for whatever reason, we were very cautious when we first received our scores. We didn't think we did all that great. And when we looked at the county, we were, if you look at that data compared to other school districts, we were like in the 90th percentile in our writing. That is to say, we outscored in our writing the majority of districts in Wayne County, which we are very positive about. Pat, do you have a comment on why we did so well compared to the other? Yet on a state level, it doesn't look like we did all that well.
I think a lot of it was the things that we put in place working collaboratively across the district with teacher groups and them knowing and anticipating what was coming. I think we can still do better. They think they can still do better, trust me.
Those are the math scores. Dorothy talked to those. Again, we're seeing annual increases, and that's what we want to see is when Carl came here and spoke to the district last year, we talked about trending scores, and we want to see them going up, and our math scores did in fact go up. 4th grade reading. Now this is the first group of kids that won, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first group that was reading first, the whole cycle of reading first? It was? Okay, so these are the kids that had the intensive reading for 4 years, 3 years from kindergarten. Again, the writing scores of 4th grade. Again, we were relatively competitive. Look at Romel's writing scores went up. 4th grade math scores, look at Corey's. No wonder we got the 2 principals here. The scores are going up. Good. Social studies. Social studies is still a quandary for the whole state. It doesn't mean much at this point. Gives you some indication. Science scores are extremely strong, thanks to Ms. Adams. And you can see the MEP scores in the 7th grade went up in every area. and the 8th grade went up in every area. So all in all, this is how we rank countywide. And again, and I urge you to be somewhat cautious about that, but there's 30-something 29 school districts which we compare with, and those are the school districts that we did better than in quantitatively. You can look at the writing side, like we did better than 30 school districts in the 4th grade, 29 in the 5th grade, and 26 in the 6th grade. That's rather significant in writing and something we should be extremely proud of. 8th grade, we've had some challenges. As you know, and we're trying to, I think Phyllis and Rhonda are making some adjustments there, and we're trying to do some more strategic after-school programming with those kids. And Pat is now over at the 8th grade. What we did was intentionally add Pat to the K-8 so that she would be able to articulate elementary through middle school. And this just gives you, again, one of the challenges we all face, and I was talking to a couple of the board members tonight. You know, these are hard times for a lot of people all over this county and in this area, and the economy is certainly having a factor on kids and their parents and the community and the transient nature of kids. Generally, you see 100% tracking between poverty and achievement for whatever reasons, and a lot of it has to do with just the challenges with that. You can see, if you go to the next one, Pat, next couple, you can see with Romulus, a lot of the schools that should, quote unquote, have achieved higher, we achieved higher than. And you can see the increase in poverty rate, and this is the census rate. I think we went up almost 3% last year, which is pretty significant. So there are more challenges, and you know, we talked about the program that Margie has and the other schools, and they're so necessary with the kids that we deal with, the additional work. Questions?
I had one question. I know you mentioned there was 3 assessments and Iowa test being one, and I know that's one thing that we're not going to do anymore from a budget standpoint.
We're going to continue
Not
it.
exactly.
We're going to continue it for reading first because we're mandated. We're not going to do it for 5, 6, 7, 8.
We're not going to do it for every grade.
Not going to do
We'll
it.
benchmark and do
Okay.
probably 6th grade and 8th grade.
We're done with the North Central cycle after this year, so we can make that adjustment. It's timely to do that.
I just wanted the clarification so I can understand in my mind.
Right.
Okay.
And what the experts always say is to be cautious with one day in time for any assessment. You know, that was one day in a kid's life. That's why we give 3 different assessments.
Were we going to replace that with some other test that was similar?
Well, we're looking at a couple of options. One is to, instead of giving the Iowa every year, to give it as an exit test, so we could give it just at 6th grade and just at 8th grade. Another option is to go with a less expensive test, and we could continue to test every year. We haven't really made the decision yet.
It's a pretty expensive test.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the better tests, a little more comprehensive, and the question is, do we need all of that?
And the reason we gave it is because the state mandates that we give it to the K4, I believe now, and we wanted that similarity, but.
Do we have any other questions?
Madam Chair, I just have one comment. I just wanted to thank our staff. I'm real proud of, I listened to how they kind of assess the data and try to prepare our kids for what's coming forward. And I know it takes a lot of hard work. And I know our kids will be successful because of the staff that we have. So we thank you for your hard work.
Yeah, they really do work hard. It's and I know you all know that. We are fortunate to have a very professional staff, really focused staff, and it was sort of nice to see Margie's program before that sort of personifies the milieu or the culture we all want in our schools. But Dorothy, Pat, Margie, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you, folks. Mr. Dolan.
Is that all you have, Carl?
Uh-huh.
Then next is communications and expressions from the public. I don't have anything in front of me. Okay.
Did you fill out a form, Mr. Cruz?
Did you fill out a form?
I don't have anything in front of me, Mr. Cruz. No? There you go.
I wanted to do it. Yeah, hey, just want to congratulate my former colleagues, Henry and Mark. They did well at the Solo and Ensemble Festival. Henry's kids got 13 ones, and that's the most he's had in a long time.
Wow.
And Mark had 10, which is pretty close to about how he's been running. So, but 23 out of both schools, that's really good. So
That's really good.
it's
Great,
a lot of extra work and after school. And I've talked to both of them, and they're real happy. So.
That's good. Okay, next we have items of interest from the superintendent.
Okay, you have in your packet a number of communications. We have a newsletters from Merriman, Romulus Middle School, a letter of thank you from Connect Michigan Alliance, newsletter from BART, communication from North Central Association, Wick Elementary, The Mind and the Genius Within, newsletter from Hale Creek, parent newsletter from the high school, a letter from Corey Elementary, and one from North Elementary. I don't think we've left anybody out. The newsletters this packet, I think you have them all.
We appreciate the newsletters because I always go through them and try to circle and say, okay, where can we be, what can we do, or what's at least what's going on where, even though we can't always make it everywhere. But we do appreciate getting them. And I mean, sometimes that's the way we find out where we need to be, because we don't always get everything. Nobody calls, nobody faxes, this is how we get our communications. But in all that said, in the communications, we have, on February 21st, I want to announce that we have the soul food dinner and jazz band plays at the middle school at 7:30 to 8:30. But also, we used to do it on different days. We used to have something every single Wednesday or something to that effect. But it looks like from 6:30 to 7:15, they're going to have the gospel inspiration reading, songs, poems, dances of the freedom movement, and we ask everybody to come out. You can get your tickets in advance for the dinner. The adult dinner tickets are $7, children are $3. You can call the middle school at 532-1744 and leave a message, I believe, if you need to get more information. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Madam Chair? I have one thing. I have a flyer here from the robotics team. They are selling raffle tickets at $10 a ticket, and they have an 8x8 playhouse that they're raffling off. And the drawing's going to be on April 5th, and this playhouse is valued at $2,500. It looks like a firehouse. It's kind of cool.
It's really something.
Yes, and so they're getting ready for competition as well, and this will help them pay some of the expenses they have when they go to different competitions. But they're going to be working on their robots, and you can see the playhouse, so they'll be there anytime between 2 and 5:30 up through the 20th at the high school. So they're inviting us to come and take a look, or the community to come out and see what they're doing. But if a robotics team member approaches you, please buy a raffle ticket to support them. They would certainly appreciate it. They are located in room 518. So, and they also like to come and give us a presentation at some time. So if we can arrange that, that would be wonderful. Carl, could you arrange
It's always
something?
fun.
Okay. So please support the robotics team. Thank you.
Do we have anything else? Does anybody else have anything else? If not, we need an executive session. And so we need a motion.
Support.
Motion by Ms. White, supported by Ms. Buckley. We need roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And there won't be any other business to take place after executive session. Motion by Mr. Mankiewicz, supported by Mr. Kuderick. We need roll call, please.
Ms. Buckley, Mr. Kuderick.
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Lassie, Mr.
Yes.
Mankiewicz.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. White is yes.
Okay, we don't have any other business to take care of, so we need a
Out.
motion to adjourn.
I would like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Support.
Motion by Ms. White, supported by Ms. Lanasi. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
Okay, thank you, folks.